All right, are we live? We streaming. Let me check. Yep, we are. We are. We so are. All right. Welcome everybody. Welcome to this lesson on reading comprehension. We'll be going through a passage today along with a couple of reasoning questions. Right. So that's like the goal for today. Um, Before we begin with the drill, before we begin with our practice, allow me to introduce you to the Unacademy portal, the Unacademy platform. Right. Hi, good morning, Samya. Very good morning. Welcome to the lesson. Right. Just give me 5 minutes. Oh, good afternoon. Yes, a very good afternoon. It's past 12 p.m. You caught me there. Right. So just give me a couple of minutes as I introduce the Unacademy platform and then we'll begin with our practice for the day. Alright. So Unacademy is perhaps India's largest learning platform today for all sorts of competition exams. You are here at the Let's Crack Management Exams YouTube channel where we prepare for all sorts of management exams, be it your CAT, NMAT, ZAT, GMAT, you name it, we've got it. I am Prankur Arora. I am going to be your instructor on this journey. I'll take you through various aspects of the verbal ability section of the management exams. I've been a trainer and a coach for the last couple of years. I'm a published author as well. And yeah, so that's pretty much about me. Welcome to this journey of learning. Uh, Welcome aboard. So there are quite a lot of features that add to the Unacademy pedagogy and make it what it is, right? Some of those features include giving you access to daily live classes where all sorts of interaction happens in real time. All sorts of discussions, doubt clearing, everything happens in real time. The live tests and quizzes that we conduct, they are in tandem with the exam that you're preparing for, right? So the mock tests and the quizzes, they are in tandem with the exams that you're preparing for. Plus then we furnish detailed reports and in-depth analysis into your performance. Stuff like how much time you're spending on a reading comprehension question versus the time you're spending on a critical reasoning question, stuff like that. Plus all the courses on the platform, they're all structured courses. They are up to date with the current syllabus, and with one subscription you get unlimited access to anything and everything. The educators on the platform, they're all credible people. You can see that on the screen, right? So these are people who've mentored thousands and thousands of aspirants successfully into various top tier business schools, right? Your IMs and your MDIs, XLRIs, you know, colleges like that. Plus, you can experience the plus classes for free on the platform. You can experience the special classes and then decide for yourself whether it's something you want to add to your learning journey or not, because obviously there are a lot of key benefits that come along with subscribing to the platform. New courses, new batches, they keep on going live. We've got educators who teach in vernacular languages as well. Plus, you design your own schedule, right? You design your own schedule, you design your own learning journey, you decide what are the kind of courses you want to enroll into. You can enroll in unlimited courses. You decide who are the educators you want to learn from, and then we'll send you timely reminders so that you don't really miss out on any of the sessions that you've set your eyes on, right? I've already talked about how everything happens in real time on the platform, and the reports and the evidence and the in-depth insights that we furnish on your performance. Another thing that comes with the plus courses with an academy subscription is that the class notes are made available to you. For example, throughout this lesson you'll see that I'll scribble a lot of stuff on the documents, on the class notes, so they are made available to you once you subscribe to the platform. Also, we can clearly see that as the subscription period goes up, the cost of the subscription per month is going down dramatically, right? So, having said that, any of the subscriptions that you go for, if you use my name Prankur, you get an extra 10% off. All right. So, let's begin with the lesson. We'll start with the reasoning question, Soumya. If you're still here, we'll start with the reasoning question and I'll give you 90 seconds, read it out, uh, hit me up on the chat with your answer, and then we'll discuss it. Right. So the question says, which of the following, if true about a factory when demand is high, casts the most serious doubt on the conclusion drawn above? So this is the premise, right? And this is the conclusion. We have to choose one of the options that, makes the conclusion very doubt worthy, right? The conclusion kind of falls apart if any of the following is true. Okay, Samya says B and Anushka says B too. All right. Um, so the question is, the premise is that when demand for a factory's products is high, more money is spent at the factory for safety precautions and machinery maintenance when demand is low. So high, low, more money spent, less money. Okay. Thus, and now they are concluding, this is the conclusion. Thus, the average number of on the job accidents per employee each month should be lower during periods when demand is high than when demand is low and less money is available for safety precautions and machinery maintenance. So, more accidents, less accidents. Or rather, instead of less, this should be, if you guys remember, that whenever we have countable things, instead of less, we use fewer accidents, right? Now, I think the both of you have gotten the right answer, that if the management is hiring new workers but is not training them properly, then the number of accidents can go up, right? I think the both of you have fairly uh, gotten to the correct answer. Let me look at all the other options though. Its employees ask for higher wages than the wages is not in the question, is not in the passage, so we can eliminate it. Its employees are less likely to lose their jobs than they are at other times. Again, the confidence in the job is not something that is within the passage. Its management sponsors a monthly safety award for each division in the factory. Instead of casting doubts, this should rather support the conclusion, right? This is not weakening it, this is supporting it. Its old machinery is replaced with modern automated, even this is going to support the conclusion. So I think the both of you have gotten it right. B is the correct answer. Good job. Let's begin with the comprehension now. So quickly go through this paragraph and give me the summary of this paragraph. Subject is language. Okay. All right. What else? What is the main point? Main idea is importance of language in one's life. Okay, all right. Let's quickly go through it. Language, let's just skim through it because you guys have already let it. Main idea, Anushka says language is a physiological, psychological faculty. Okay. Language is not a cultural artifact that we learn the way we learn to tell time or how the federal government works. Instead, it is a distinct piece of the biological makeup of our brains. Language is a complex, specialized skill which develops in the child spontaneously without conscious effort or formal instruction, is deployed without awareness of its underlying logic, is qualitatively the same in every individual and is distinct from one general to process information or behave intelligently. For these reasons, some cognitive scientists have described language as a psychological faculty, a mental organ, a neural system, and a computational module, but I prefer the admittedly quaint term instinct. It conveys the idea that people know how to talk in more or less the sense the spiders. Now, this is an entirely analogy of spiders. Right. So main idea, Soumya, I think Anushka has gotten it bang on, is that this language is a psychological faculty, right? This is like the main idea that language be viewed psychologically. All right. The importance, yes, you right that they're talking about the importance here. They're covering all those features, but they're developing on it further by saying that you know what, this is how we think about language right now. But think about language in psychological terms, and then they give the example of spiders, right here. Although there are differences between webs and words, I will encourage you to see language in this way. In what way? In a psychological way. All right. Next paragraph. All right, guys, have you been able to boil down to the summary of this paragraph? We are species of primate with a knack for communicating. Alright. Okay. Okay. Let me quickly take you through the paragraph and validate this summary. Thinking of language as an instinct inverts the popular wisdom, especially as it has always been passed down in the canon of the humanities and social sciences. Okay, I'll underline this. Language is no more a cultural invention than is upright posture. It is not a manifestation of a general capacity to use symbols, it blah blah blah, but is quite incompetent. Okay. Though language is a magnificent ability unique to Homo sapiens among living species, it does not call for sequestering the study of humans from the domain of biology. For a magnificent ability unique to particular living species is far from unique in the animal kingdom. Some kinds of bats home in on flying insects using Doppler. Some kinds of birds navigate thousands of miles by calibrating the positions of the constellations against the time of the day. Nature's talents show we are simply a species of primate with our own a knack for communicating information about who did what to whom by modulating the sounds we make when we exhale. Alright. So, what is the main idea? The main idea is the main idea is you know we are just another, so they are downplaying the natural importance of language, right? So what are they doing? They are comparing our use of language with bats use of Doppler, birds use of navigation, right? So what are they saying? They are downplaying it by saying that in nature's talent show we are simply another species who has a knack for communicating by modulating sounds. That is what they are saying. That is what they are saying is the importance of language, nothing more to it, nothing lesser than that. That though language is a magnificent ability unique to Homo sapiens, it does not call for sequestering the study of humans from the domain of biology. Right? So they are downplaying the idea. Paragraph 3. Main idea, nothing that is worth knowing can be taught. Language is product of well engineered biological instinct. Bang on, Anushka. I think you've gotten it right. This is what the main idea of this paragraph is. And this was the last paragraph, right? So now let's move into solving the questions. Soumya, are you done with the paragraph? Can we move to the questions? Okay, cool. Question number one. According to the passage, which of the following does not stem from popular wisdom on language? Soumya says C. Alright. So, according to the passage, which of the following does not stem from popular wisdom on language? Now, what did they say when they talked about the popular wisdom of language? Wait. So we have the question telling us cultural artifact, cultural invention, learnt as we grow, unique to Homo sapiens, psychological faculty. Right? Popular wisdom on the language. So thinking of language as an instinct inverts the popular wisdom, especially as it has been passed down. ठीक है तो हमें पता है pass down बोल दिया. No more a cultural invention, right? General capacity, um, unique to Homo sapiens. So this entire paragraph has telling us that language is a cultural artifact, language is cultural invention, it is learned as we grow, it is unique to Homo sapiens. But in the popular wisdom, it is not a psychological faculty. Why? Because they are saying cognitive scientists are telling us that language is. So this is what the author says, everybody says. According to author, this is the view of everybody, this is popular wisdom. Alright, this is everybody's view, this is popular wisdom. But then the author says that, you know what, we should listen to cognitive scientists who are telling us that, you know what, language is a psychological faculty. So, Soumya, instead of C, the answer should be E. Are you getting my point? Okay. Question 2. Now, this is an analogy question. So, B. B is collecting nectar. Yes. Very well done. So the author used spiders know how to spin webs analogy to do what? To tell us that if humans talk slash use language, it is similar to how spiders know how to spin webs, which is again similar to bees collecting nectar. Why? Because this is inherent ability. Inherent ability. Right? The rest of the points mentioned here, kittens jumping, donkey carrying load, horse running derby, pet clock protecting owner's property, these are not inherent abilities. These are skills that are learned. So, bees connecting nectar is the perfect answer. Next question. According to the passage, which of the following is unique to human beings? Okay, Anushka and Soumya both think the answer is E, is it? So, according to the passage, which of the following is unique, right? Ability to use symbols, ability to communicate with each other through voice modulation, ability to communicate information to other members, ability to use sound as means of communication, right? And what are we talking about? We're talking about something that is unique to human beings, right? In nature's talent show, we are simply a species of primates with our own act. A knack for communicating information about who did what to whom by modulating the sounds we make when we exhale. Right? So, this is what the paragraph was saying is unique to humans, because what are they saying? They are saying bats home in on flying insects using Doppler, birds navigate, right? And then they say, though language is a magnificent ability unique to Homo sapiens among living species, it does not call for sequestering the study of humans from the domain of biology, for a magnificent ability unique to a particular living species is far from unique in the animal kingdom. The only unique thing they're talking about is voice modulation to make sounds. Alright, so the answer will be B and not E. Okay, I hope you've understood this explanation. Next question. So the question is, according to the passage, complexity of language cannot be taught by parents or at school to children because, let's go back to the paragraph and see, right? Because I don't think this is something. The complexity of language from the scientist's point of view is part of our biological birthright. It is not something that parents teach their children or something that must be elaborated in school, as Oscar Wilde said. Education is an admirable thing, but it is well to remember from time to time that nothing that is worth knowing can be taught. A preschooler's tacit knowledge of grammar is more sophisticated than the thickest style manual or the most state of the art computer language system, and the same applies to all healthy human beings, even the notorious this is this. So, now what do you guys think should be the answer? What do you think should be the answer? Soumya, Anushka? Children instinctively know language. Is this what they are saying? Is this what they are saying? Children are born with the knowledge of semiotics? No. Children know language better than their parents or teachers? No. Language is not amenable to teaching? No. Children learn the language on their own or children instinctively know language? Which of these options do you think is the better answer? I'll take you back to the paragraph again. So, the idea here is the author is talking about how it is a biological instinct that children instinctively know language, and that is why complexity of language cannot be taught to parents by parents or at school to children because they instinctively know it. Okay? Next question. Which of the following best summarizes the passage? What is the main idea of the entire passage? We know the main idea of every paragraph. Now we have to figure out the main idea of the entire passage. Okay, so you guys had given in your options, but okay, I couldn't see your answers on the chat. That's why it took so long in the fourth question. There was some technical glitch due to which I couldn't see your answers, but now I can see that all of you had punched in your answers. Okay, here the both of you say the answer is D. D is the correct answer. Well done. Okay, let's solve this sentence correction question now. We're done with the reading comprehension. Okay, Soumya says A. Alright. So, dressed as a man and using the name Robert Shirtliff, Deborah Sampson, the first woman to draw a soldier's pension, joined, simple past tense, joined the Continental Army in 1782 at the age of 22, was injured three times, and was discharged in 1783 because she had become too ill to serve. Now, we know for a fact that we have two things that are happening in the past, right? There are two actions that are taking place in the past, right? So, out of those two actions, one action happened first, and then it ended. After it ended, the second action happened, right? So, we know for a fact that she was discharged, but the discharge happened after she became ill. So, because she became ill first, so we need the present perfect tense here, which we only have in options A and B. So, we'll eliminate option C and D, right? Because she had become. Now we have to, uh, decipher the rest of the sentence. We have simple past here that she joined the Continental Army. She was injured three times and she was discharged, right? So, she was injured and she was discharged. These are parallel elements, right? And that is why we'll eliminate option B, because while being discharged is not parallel with was injured, right? So A is the perfect answer. Well done, Soumya. Critical reasoning question now. Okay, C, right. So, what is the premise of this passage, and what is the conclusion? Right, we have a premise that says that an overly centralized economy, not the changes in the climate, is responsible for poor agricultural production in country X since its new government came to power. So this is the premise. They're telling us that a very centralized economy, not the climate, are responsible for poor agriculture in country X. And then they are saying, adding to the premise by saying that there is a country Y. Okay, so Soumya says D and not C. Alright. Now they're saying that country Y is experiencing same climate, but the agriculture is falling in X and it is rising in Y. So even though X and Y have same climate, right? X ka agriculture is falling, Y ka agriculture is rising, and the reason they are giving is overly centralized economy. Okay. Now we have to weaken the argument. That means we have to tell them that, you know what, there could be something else, not the overly centralized economy. So if one of these options gives us another reason, we'll go with that option, right? Industrial production also is declining in country X. Are we talking about industrial production? No, we're not. We're only concerned with agriculture. Whereas country-wise landlocked country X has a major seaport. So we are again not concerned with this because we are talking about agriculture. We're not concerned with seaports or landlocks. X and Y have been experiencing drought. Again, we know for a fact that X and Y have the same climate conditions, right? So that is again irrelevant. D. Crops have been grown in X are different from the ones that have been grown in Y. This could be a viable reason. Both Soumya and Anushka, I think the both of you have cracked it. This could be a viable reason, right? Because if different crops are grown and if Y is growing crops that are actually suitable to the climate, that is why maybe Y is getting better agricultural output, right? Country X's new government instituted a centralized economy with the intention of ensuring an equitable distribution. If the intention was this, then maybe agricultural output should have gone up, right? So we'll eliminate option E. D is the perfect answer. Good job, you guys. Another sentence correction question. You have to choose the correct sentence. So we have, I'll give you a hint, we have two parallel lists here. Okay, Anushka says D yet again. Let's look at all the options. Like ants, termites have an elaborate social structure in which a few individuals reproduce. Number one, few individuals reproduce. Number two, serve. So reproduce and serve are parallel. Okay, this sentence is good till now. Serve the colony, tending juveniles, gathering food, building the nest, or by battling. So these three are still parallel, but this is not parallel to these three, right? Also, we need a conjunction between these two sentences, right? They serve the colony, tending juveniles is sounds kind of icky, so I'll remove this. Reproduce is not parallel with our serving at all, so I'll eliminate B. Reproduce is parallel with serve by tending juveniles, gathering food by again. We are using by three times, but we're not using by here. We eliminate this. D sounds perfect. We reproduce, we serve by tending juveniles, number one, gathering food, number two, building the nest, number three, battling intruders, number four. So, good job, guys. Good job. D is the perfect answer. This I think we done. This is something we've not done. Okay, D yet again. Alright, let's look at this. The themes that Rita Dove explores in her poetry. What is the subject? We are talking about themes. Themes is plural. Is universal. This is referring to what? This is referring to themes, so it should be R, right? So we straight away eliminate options A and B. Why? Because this is universal, right? So themes are universal. They encompass much of the human condition and occasionally deals with racial issues. One is this is again singular, right? And we have a plural pronoun, right? So we eliminate this. Are universal, encompassing much of the human condition while occasionally dealing with racial issues. So encompassing and dealing are parallel, plus themes is in agreement with are, right? So subject word agreement and parallelism both are perfectly fine here. So we'll go with option D. Right. So good job, guys. With this, we come to the end of the lesson for the day. Thank you for tuning in. We solved a couple of reasoning questions. We solved a comprehension and a few sentence correction question. So I'll wrap up the lesson for now, and I'll see you again. Uh, I think I'll see you again day after tomorrow. Now I'm going to be taking an off most likely tomorrow. But I have a special class scheduled at 1:30 p.m. So you can try and tune in then, right? And we'll do another verbal drill. Yes, Manaswi. Hi. The special class is at 1:30. Okay? All right. I'll see you guys there now. Thank you so much. Bye bye.